Hi guys, I just thought I'd do a quick, not a full-blown review, but a quick look at this AEG washer dryer. It's one of the Lavamat Turbo Protex range. This particular one is a Which Best Buy, and it's the L75480WD. We bought it really because it was a Which Buy. We did have a Hotpoint, a Qualtis washing machine and a separate tumble dryer. Unfortunately, when I designed this utility room, I'd forgotten that the Qualtis has the hinge, the door hinged on the right hand side, so of course when you opened it this way we couldn't actually get into the washing machine, so that's now on eBay, and we ordered this based on the Which report. Strangely, 4 customers reported their findings on the Which site. 2 said it was dreadful and 2 said it was fantastic. So we've gone for it anyway. You're going to find it around the £600 to £650 region. It's our first washer dryer. The old washing machine and the tumble dryer were out in the conservatory, taking up a lot of room, stood on top of each other, and I think this actually looks quite nice, just stuck in the corner of the utility room. It came wrapped in polystyrene and some sort of heat shrink clear plastic, which I was quite surprised about. I thought it would have been completely covered with cardboard and protection, but it wasn't. But it arrived unmarked, no problems whatsoever. The instructions are just basic printed out set of instructions, perhaps not the best English either, but as we expect these days. Obviously came with the drain hose, the cold connection hose, and a few other bits and pieces. Very easy to install. The only thing that I've got to adjust really is I left the cold pipe too high, because the hose that comes with this, if you look here, it has got an anti-flood device that's probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches long, and that's why this pipe is too high at the moment. So I'm just going to reconfigure the plumbing so that pipe is out of view. So just bear that in mind if you do get one of these, that there is an anti-flood device, or anti-leak I think is probably the right word, fitted, and it does need to, it is about 4 inches long, so just bear that in mind. Levelled it easily enough. It comes with a spanner that you just slide under, and you can adjust all of the legs, and it is important to get these dead level. They'll last a lot longer and they'll be a lot quieter if you get it levelled up. So a closer look. The plastic is, it's okay, but it's just not quite as good as I was perhaps expecting. There's a few little sort of moulding marks and things like that where it's not quite perfect, but I guess that's just how it's going to be these days. The quality has certainly changed over the years. The powder compartment comes out a long way. It's quite wide, nice and easy to get access to. On the old Hotpoint Qualtis that we had, this was actually underneath. You had to open the door up before you could slide out this. It's a bit of a funny arrangement. This is a more standard arrangement. The door, obviously we can get it open nice and wide. There is a child lock fitted here, so you can make sure that the door cannot be shut and sealed if you've got children or daft pets. I'll just fire this up for you. You can see that coming on. Very easy to use. You just have a rotary encoder here, and you just turn it around and go to whichever program you want. The range of programs is excellent. I've got no issues with that. I would normally use Cottons. You can, what we have here is the temperature and the spin speed. You can manually override these. I generally do things on 30 or 40. Obviously I'm going to leave the spin speed at the maximum of 1400. You can, this is an 8 kilo, 6 kilo wash and dry machine. I generally put 5 or 6 kilos in, and then I can just set it to wash and then automatically dry. There are a number of levels of drying. You can have iron dry, cupboard dry, and what I call bone dry. I generally set it to the cupboard dry setting. Drying time you can manually override if you would like. Time save will obviously reduce the washing time. It doesn't work on every option here. You'll have to look at the manual for that, but there are various options there. Delay start is perfect if, like us, you have economy 7 electricity. The old machine did not have any facility to delay the start, and because like this one it was electronic, we could not start it on a mechanical timer. So this one you can delay right up to 20 hours. Normally I set this late in the evening and have it going off 2 or 3 hours later when the economy 7 has kicked in. Once you've selected everything correctly here, you literally just press start. That will lock the door. Even if you're on the delay timer, that instantly locks the door so nobody can fiddle with it. And you just leave it to do its thing. Now, last night when I had this running, I had absolutely no idea during the night that this was working. Our old tumble dryer was very noisy, and you could always hear it from upstairs in the bedroom. This was so quiet I couldn't hear a thing. In fact, it was so quiet I thought that I'd perhaps programmed it incorrectly and it hadn't gone off, and I was going to come down this morning to find that it was still sat there. But I was wrong. I had set it correctly. It had washed and dried everything perfectly. Absolutely no issues whatsoever. And so far first impressions are that it's excellent. The only thing that is inaccurate is it tries to give you a indication of the time the cycle will take. Now, I sat here the first time I installed this, and you have to put it on a cottons and 95-degree wash with nothing in it apart from some washing powder just to clear out any factory residue. And it started off, I think it was around the 3-hour region, and it quickly switched down to 1 hour. So you really cannot rely on this timer. And to be perfectly honest, it really isn't relevant for me. I don't care what that timer says because I've got it set at night. There are 60-minute and 20-minute very quick washes for a limited number of kilos of washing, and I think those are entirely accurate. If it says it's 20 minutes, it really is. But if I started this up now, you will see that it will not just clock down the minutes. It can jump an hour or two as it works the weight of the washing out and various other factors that it factors in. I know there was a complaint on Which about that side of it, but just view the timer, the time left as an indication, and you won't go too far wrong. If it's critical that you know exactly when it's going to finish, then don't buy it. I don't know of any washing machine that will give you an accurate spot on countdown timer. I just don't see that it's possible because various factors will change as the wash progresses. That's it really. When I was looking for a review, I couldn't really find anything online apart from a couple of companies that are actually selling these, and they just sort of went, there's the control button, there's the washer thing, and there's the door, and it was completely bloody useless. We're really pleased with it. I can see why it's got a Which Best Buy award. One really good thing, it comes with a 5-year warranty. Now, in the past, I would certainly say buy something really cheap and just replace it every few years, but we've paid a bit extra for this because of the quality, and it's got a 5-year warranty. I'm hoping we'll never have to call on it, but with modern equipment, it's not designed as well as it used to be, and maybe in a few years' time we will need to call on the warranty. But we've got it, so we know we're guaranteed that we've got this washing machine for 5 years, and if it can't be repaired at any point, then they would have to replace it with another one. So yeah, I think it's well worth it. If it lasts the 5 years, it's going to work out at 125 quid a year to actually have bought, to pay for the washing machine. I think it looks quite nice in there, and the results so far have been very good. Oh, one thing that I thought was quite clever, when it finishes the cycle, it just doesn't sit there flashing like this. It actually turns itself completely off. So after the cycle is completed and you come back to it, you'll find it's off totally, which has got to save a tiny amount of power and is a pretty smart idea. Most things do not turn themselves off like that, I think. So yeah, quick look at the AEG Lavamat Turbo Protex range, and it was the L75480WD, and hopefully that might help somebody who's looking at buying one of these. I can thoroughly recommend it on this first week that we've had it. Build quality seems excellent. It's very easy to manoeuvre into position. Just bear in mind the plumbing situation. Obviously it's cold fill only. But yeah, installed, no problems. As I said, you must do a Cotton's 95-degree wash with a little bit of powder when you first use this to clear it out, and to avoid any smells and residues building up over the months, it wouldn't hurt to actually run a 95-degree cotton wash perhaps once a month with an empty machine. This will make sure that the internals stay as clean and free of gunk as possible. Few people would use a 95-degree wash very often, if ever, and at 30 and 40 you will get some residues left in. The only other thing I've forgotten to mention was you will get some fluff building up on this rubber if you are using it as the dryer as well. It will pick off. It's more of an annoyance than anything else. I expect a damp cloth will get all that rubbed off. As I say, more of an annoyance and something to be aware of. Standalone tumble dryers would not have a rubber seal here. They would have a hard plastic seal, and that would not gather any fluff. Again, don't see it as a major problem. I'm sure that's going to happen on any washer dryer. Leave the door open so it can dry out, and you'll find that you won't get any nasty smells developing if you do leave the door open, as it's you've got airflow in there and it can dry out properly. So yeah, I hope that helped. Excellent machine, and I'll probably update you over the coming months just to let you know that it's still performing well. Thanks for watching.